For many families, real estate is more than an investment. It's the family home, or a rental property, or even land that's been owned for decades. Real estate often becomes one of the most visible and emotional pieces of a family's wealth. And that raises a very important question. How do you pass real estate forward without creating stress, taxes, or family conflict? Today, we're breaking down real estate strategies that help families pass the torch and build multi-generational wealth intentionally. Real estate isn't a guaranteed ticket to generational wealth. The true magic lies in the strategy behind how it's handled and how you pass it down. Without clear intention, a property is just an asset. With it, it becomes a lasting legacy. Real estate is different from other assets. It's tangible. You can touch it, often illiquid, and it usually carries emotional weight. Unlike investment accounts, real estate decisions affect where people live, how they earn income, and how responsibilities are shared. For many families, real estate represents stability and opportunity, but without planning, it can also create unequal outcomes, tax inefficiencies, and ongoing management challenges. Multi-generational wealth isn't created by owning property alone. It's created by how ownership and responsibility are structured over time. Passing real estate forward isn't just about inheritance, because according to Investopedia, effective real estate wealth transfer involves tax planning, ownership structure, and clarity around management and decision-making. That often includes how and when ownership transfers, who controls the decisions, how income and expenses are handled, and how heirs are treated fairly, not just equally. A good strategy balances financial efficiency with family harmony. And one common approach is holding property in trust. Trust can define who benefits from income, who controls decisions, and how property eventually transfers. Another strategy is gradual gifting. Ownership interests are transferred over time, often reducing estate taxes while preparing the next generation for this responsibility. Some families use LLCs or family partnerships. These structures clarify roles, simplify management, and create rules for selling or transferring interests. Others choose to separate use and ownership. One generation lives in or manages the property, while another retains ownership, creating flexibility without disruption. According to Forbes, families who structure real estate intentionally are more likely to preserve value and avoid disputes during transitions. The strategy isn't just about control, it's about overall continuity. The biggest real estate mistakes often happen when families just assume everything with the property will work itself out, but having a clear structure in place is what truly protects both the value of the property and your family's overall relationships, keeping everyone on the same page and the asset secure. Now imagine with me for a second. Parents who own several rental properties. They want income during retirement, but they also want their children involved eventually. Instead of waiting, they place properties into an LLC, gradually gifting ownership interests, defining management roles and exit options. And this educates the next generation along the way, so they're empowered and ready for the responsibility. Because as income continues, responsibility is shared. Transitions can happen gradually instead of all at once. And when ownership fully transfers, the system is already in place. That's passing the torch with intention. One misconception is that equal inheritance always means equal property division. In reality, fairness often looks different when properties vary in value or responsibility. Another misconception is that real estate should always stay in the family. Sometimes selling strategically is the best way to preserve harmony. A third misconception is that real estate planning is only about taxes. Family dynamics often matter just as much, so if you're ignoring those realities, it creates more risk than any market cycle. Now, when it comes to passing down real estate, the biggest risk isn't just housing markets. It's the family market. Unclear expectations and unmanaged responsibilities can turn a gift into a burden. But with clarity, real estate can become a legacy that supports generations rather than dividing them. Because a strong real estate legacy starts with clarity. So be sure to ask yourself, do we want this property to produce income or provide usage to our family members? Who will manage it and make decisions? And how will future generations enter or exit ownership? How does this fit into broader estate and tax planning? When these questions are answered early, real estate becomes a stabilizing force instead of an overall stress point. And legacy works best when conversations happen before transitions are forced. So here's the takeaway. Real estate can be a powerful tool for multi-generational wealth, but ownership alone isn't enough. Structure, communication, and planning determine whether property strengthens families or strains them. Passing the torch works best when the next generation is prepared, not surprised. If this helped you see real estate differently as a part of your family's legacy, subscribe for more clear, real-world retirement education. And if you need help designing a real estate strategy that supports family harmony and long-term wealth, book a connection conversation today on Zoom or in our offices. We're happy to help you.